All right. So I didn't think I'd be making a video once again about the Bengals organization being a dysfunctional piece of garbage, but here we are. And we got to talk about some of the newest developments that have come out with the situation between the Cincinnati Bengals and Shemar Stewart's rookie contract that have now really shown just how garbage of a front office the Cincinnati Bengals is. And so let's talk about it on an unscripted version of the Shoemake Take. Hope y'all are having a fantastic, fantabulous, awesome freaking day. My name is Garrett Shoemake, and this is the Shoemake Take. Hope y'all are doing well. Kind of a weird intro, and once again, like I said, I don't got a script here. This is going to be more of a just venting out my thoughts and frustrations with the Cincinnati Bengals, more than just like this analytical video of why the Bengals front office is so garbage. I just wanted to talk about it just freely a little bit here. So a little disclaimer: if I miss some information, or if I get a little bit off topic, if I ramble a little bit, or if I just randomly kind of stutter or stop, like if it's not a fluid video as I'm used to giving out, I apologize in advance. Once again, this is unscripted. This is just my thoughts and my feelings, just trying to vent them out right here, right now. Because what is going on with the Bengals and their front office is just disgusting. It's just absolutely disgusting. And that might be overplaying it a little bit. Like, is it disgusting? Yes. But do I have to say it's disgusting? No. But like, it disgusts me that there's front offices in the NFL that just want to be cheap, that would rather be cheap instead of investing in their football team. And so here's the situation. Let's lay that out first. Here's the situation with Shemar Stewart, the first round pick out of Texas A&M edge rusher, and the Cincinnati Bengals. So the Bengals are trying to put a clause in Shemar Stewart's rookie contract where if he gets hurt, all the guaranteed money in the contract throughout all 4 years is voided. Now, to my understanding, if a rookie gets hurt, or any player gets hurt for that matter, to my understanding, again, if they get hurt, the guarantees are voided for that year, not all 4 years. So it seems like to me that this 4-year thing is something they're just trying to do with Shemar Stewart and not common practice in the NFL, which, if that is the case, if that is true, then the Cincinnati Bengals are a bunch of garbage, a bunch of pieces of garbage in the front office for whoever's trying to put this contract together. I mean, I'm obviously not everybody in the front office has a piece of the pie to blame here, or a piece of blame pie to take here, but somebody does. Somebody's got to be held accountable. Somebody's got to be responsible for putting those clauses in that contract. And it's led to Shemar Stewart holding out of mandatory minicamp, where he's not on the field practicing. He's still in the organization. He's still in the building. He's still in team meetings. He's just not on the field practicing. And seeing this happen, it's just disgusting. Like, why? I've never seen, I mean, obviously we've have cheap organizations in the NFL. That's always never going to change, which is unfortunate. But the Bengals are notorious for this. And it's just disgusting to see a team nickel and dime all of their players as much as they can to not have to pay the proper amount of money that they deserve, like every other team would pay their players. And it's just wild. And this is not new. Obviously, the Bengals are screwing over Trey Hendrickson right now. I made a video on that a month or so ago. I would go check that out after this. And, you know, the whole reason why Jamar Chase and T. Higgins got paid all the money they got paid was because they didn't pay them last offseason when they should have. And after the years that they had to pay out much more money than they needed to. So they got to a point where they screwed over their cap situation for the next handful of years, to the point where Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins are probably going to take up almost 50% of their cap space by the end of like 2026, 2027, whatever. I don't remember the full details of what that looks like. But again, this goes back even further as well. If you remember when Carson Palmer was on the Bengals, they tried doing the same thing. It's why he ended up leaving and going to the Raiders, because the Bengals were a bunch of cheap idiots that did not want to invest in their best players. And I don't understand why this mentality exists. The NFL is a business. And every individual NFL team is also a business. You're selling a product, which is the play on the field, and then fans, whether you're good or bad, come and pay the price to see the team play. And so when your team is good, you're making more money because the on-field product that you're selling to your fans is good. It's a business. Make sense? So as a business owner, Mike Brown, or whoever is responsible for this, contract dispute, but ultimately Mike Brown should be held accountable because he is the owner and he's letting this happen right now. As an owner, why wouldn't you want to spend as much money as you can investing into your team, ensuring that they win. As a business owner, why wouldn't you try to invest almost everything you own financially into making your business the best it can possibly be? It just makes no sense to me. You're not a successful business by being cheap. You're a successful business by investing into your business and spending your money wisely, smart, but also not being afraid to spend money when you need to spend money. That's the difference between successful organizations and ones that are perpetually bad. You want to know why the Bengals have only made 2 Super Bowls in their entire franchise? This is why. You want to know why the Bengals haven't been really good? Well, I should say really good. That's not true. But you want to know why the Bengals have not been able to get back to who they were in 2021? It's because the Bengals are cheap. They are cheap. They don't want to pay their players. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. They do not want to invest into their football team. And I'm sorry, if you're being cheap, you're not going to get any closer to winning a Super Bowl. You're not. And so if that's the goal, well, you need to stop being cheap. Mike Brown, you need to step in and get this crap fixed. This is stupid. It's utterly stupid and it's frustrating. You're doing this to Trey Hendrickson and screwing him over and not wanting to trade him or anything. You're holding him hostage, essentially. And he's already openly called out the front office in this organization for being cheap. And now you're doing that to your first-round pick, Shemar Stewart? Why? For what? For what reason are you trying to put a clause in his contract to void all of his guaranteed money if it gets hurt? Why? It's not like he has injury concerns. I don't even think he missed a single game in college. Maybe a couple, but that's it. And so it's not like he's injury prone at all. So what's the point other than being cheap? It makes no sense. Along with that, it makes you look terrible because, oh my God, like future first round picks for the Bengals are going to notice this. Other teams are noticing this. Like, it just gives you a bad rep for being cheap and treating your players poorly. Like, why? And also, it's not like the Cincinnati Bengals are in any position to do it anyways. It's not like their defense was garbage last year or anything. This defense was hot garbage last year. The only reason why the Cincinnati Bengals won 9 games last year was because the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and a couple other players on the offense had to throw their backs out to carry that sorry unit of a defense. So it's not like this defense is the Philadelphia Eagles. This isn't a top unit. This unit was garbage. That's why their defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo, got fired, because it was hot garbage. They're in no position to be trying to be cheap with their players, especially in the defensive side of the ball. And also at the edge rusher position with Shemar Stewart and Trey Hendrickson, which, newsflash, edge rusher is one of the top 5 most important positions on the football field. You should not be being cheap with that position. Not for any position at all, for any player at all, for that matter. I'm spitting all over my mic, by the way. It's absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting to me that an organization is willing to nickel and dime their players because they want to save money. No, you win Super Bowls by investing into your players. You win Super Bowls by investing in talent. Now, say whatever you want about Shemar Stewart and his production in college, whatever. Shemar Stewart was a first-round pick. He was an edge rusher with a lot of upside because of his measurables. Say what you want. He has visible talent on tape in the measurables that make him a first-round pick. You invest in that. You drafted him in the first round because you believe that his talent can be coached up and can be translated into becoming an elite pass rusher in the NFL. But once again, the Cincinnati Bengals over here are like counting their quarters when they got billions of dollars in their organization. There's literally no reason to be cheap. These owners are billionaires. They are billionaires. Why is it so hard for the billionaire owner to put all they can financially into making their team better? Why is this an issue? I mean, the issue itself goes further outside of the NFL more than it's appropriate to talk about on the show, because then you get talk about political stuff and the rich and the wealthy versus the poor. Like, you get into a whole different conversation that goes beyond football. Like I said, it's not appropriate for the show. Not what the show is supposed to be about and what we're supposed to be talking about. But it's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous that the Bengals front office is just being so cheap and treating their players horribly. Like, and I fully understand why Shemar Stewart is not practicing. I get it. Because if he gets hurt, he loses all the guaranteed money that he worked his entire football career to earn. It's not that he's holding out because he wants more money. This has nothing to, this is no issue with Shemar Stewart whatsoever. This has all to do with the Cincinnati Bengals and how they're handling the situation, trying to put a clause in a contract that's not even standard by the NFL. And it's not going to be long before the NFLPA gets involved or the NFL gets involved. I would hope so. I would hope someone like a higher organization or a higher part of the NFL would get involved, because this is blatant neglect. This is blatant neglect and disregard for investing into your team. And if I hope to God that Shemar Stewart doesn't sign that contract, because if he does, it's going to set a bad precedent within the Bengals, where they're going to try and do it with every other draft pick they have for the rest of history until someone stands up and says no. And thankfully, Shemar Stewart is standing up and saying no right now, as he should. I fully support Shemar Stewart in holding out. I get it. He probably doesn't want to not be on the field. He wants to be on the field. He wants to develop. He wants to play and be around his teammates. But I mean, when your team in the front office is financially screwing you over something that shouldn't even matter, because like I said, Shemar Stewart doesn't have an injury history. He's not injury prone. They're just being cheap. They're just being cheap and being garbage. This is disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. I don't know how many more times I can say that on this show before before it actually makes sense, or before, I don't know. I'm rambling at this point. It's just wow. Like, I don't know. I just don't know anymore. I don't know what else I have to say at this point without repeating myself. The Bengals have no position. They have no position to be treating their players like this. They have no room to be treating players like this, nor they should. And this is why the Bengals aren't going to be back into the Super Bowl for a while. I'm sorry, Bengals fans. Is that an attack on you guys or on the team? No. It's an attack on this organization, because how the organization is running right now, they will never be back to a Super Bowl. They will never be back until this team finally starts investing into its players, for the love of God. Can we please just have owners actually give a crap about the product on the field and actually invest into their team instead of trying to be cheap and nickel and dime? There's a reason why the Bengals have been in the Super Bowl only two times in their entire history, and this is why. Because they don't know how to invest in their team and build a product on the field that is sustainable, that is good, and that is something the fans actually want to watch. The Bengals are probably going to win 9 games max this year, because their defense is already going through its struggling pains. It's already got its growing pains. It's got a new defensive coordinator, new pieces that they're trying to lose or trying to gain. They lost some pieces too, because they cut Jermaine Pratt, their starting inside linebacker. So that's another issue in of itself, who immediately got picked up by the Raiders 3 days later, which tells you, Jermaine Pratt's a good player. He's not bad. And so there's going to be growing pains there. The offense is going to have to bust its butt, scoring 35-plus points a game just to win football games and be competitive, because this defense is probably not going to be that good. I'm hoping their new defensive coordinator, he was the defensive coordinator at Notre Dame, I'm hoping he can turn things around. It would be nice. It would be really nice to see that. But with the front office and seeing their shenanigans with paying players, I just don't see that. I don't see the Bengals going back to the Super Bowl until their front office actually starts giving a crap about investing into their players and giving them the money that they deserve. This guy, Shemar Stewart's a first-round pick. If you're going to draft him in the first round, why are you trying to mess with his money? This is a guy that you drafted, that you spent hours upon hours of scouting, meeting with him in interviews. You spent so much time and effort into doing research on this guy and spending a first-round pick on him, thinking that he can turn around your franchise. If you didn't think that, you wouldn't draft him in the first round in the first place. And so to see this same front office that spent so much time and energy and effort into deciding that this was their guy, and now they're going to nickel and dime him? Screw you, Bengals. Screw you. Get out of here. Get out of here. Like, if this keeps going, at some point, like, the owner's got to come together and force, like, Mike Brown to sell the team or something if this continues, because this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. It should be, I don't know if you call it a law, a rule, or whatever, but seeing it when an organization continuously continues Continuously continues? Yes, that's a phrase that makes sense, I guess. No, it does not. But if an organization continuously neglects their team, neglects investing money into their business, neglecting money into their business, the NFL should be allowed to step in and force that owner to sell the team, because they don't care about making their team better. They want to make all of the money in the world. These are billionaires. They want to make all the money in the world, rack in all the dough and increase their wealth. But God forbid, do they have to invest it to actually keep their business running? No, because that would result in them losing money. And no, you actually gain more money because you'd have a consistent product on the field that fans would want to watch and not have to gouge their eyes out because their defense is allowing 40 points a game. Jesus Christ, man. This is so annoying. Okay, you know what? At this point, I've said all I wanted to say. I am done here before I end up yelling at my mic. And at this point, I'm probably bursting your guys' eardrums right now. For those of you that are listening to headphones, I hope you guys turn down this volume. I am sorry. I am very sorry for how loud I've been on this episode. But that is going to do it for now. I really don't have any much more to say. And like again, I don't want to absolutely go off the rails more than I already am. But if this is what you come here for, that you come here to the Shoemake Take right now, you come here for this show, for this type of passion. Because I care about the game, I love the game, and I want you to see the game. I want to see all teams do well and get better. And seeing a front office like this, a billionaire owner like this, treat their organization and treat their players like garbage, it's infuriating because we're all football fans. We all want to see our teams do well. We want to see our players, our favorite players do well. And seeing stuff like this happen, it's frustrating because it hurts the product. It hurts the product and it looks bad on the Bengals organization. In turn, it looks bad on the NFL as they continuously allow the Bengals to keep being cheap and doing what they do. If this doesn't stop, if the Bengals don't stop what they're doing in the front office, someone needs to step in and force Mike Brown to either sell the team or actually spend his money and invest in the team. We can't keep doing this. We can't keep having cheap owners continuously neglect their teams because they want to just not lose their wealth. Like, come on. Every good business owner understands that you have to invest your money into your business to keep it running and make it be the best it can be. Being cheap doesn't get you any closer to a Super Bowl. In fact, it takes you even farther away. So with that being said, that is going to do it. And if you're new around here and you've made it this far, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It's free. If it's free, it's for me. You know what I'm saying? Help a guy out, reach 100 subscribers before the 2025 season starts. And at the rate you guys are going, you guys are absolutely killing it right now. We're going to clear 100 subscribers at this rate before the season. So keep it coming. Along with that, let me know your thoughts in the comments about this situation. Do you guys think that the Bengals are being dumb? Do you think Mike Brown should sell the team? I want to hear all of your thoughts on this topic. Along with, if I missed something, please let me know and inform me. That way we can have a perfect, clean, in the comments, we can have a clean, actually civil conversation and not me yelling at my mic like a maniac. Along with that, you're going to see clips on this on social media. So share this video on social media and go follow me on social media, whether it's TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Go follow me on all my platforms. But that is going to do it for me today, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this impromptu rant on the Cincinnati Bengals being garbage. And as always, I will see you all next time.